Welcome back, family. Today I wanted to speak about why are so many black women alone today. Let me just make some clarifications about this particular segment. This is not bashing black women overall. This is not speaking about all black women. This is not a hate-filled, resentment-laced, payback-type video. This is an assessment of something I've seen over the years for a specific block of black women. Not all black women. I've had personal experiences which gave me a little insight into that particular segment of black women that are out there that this particular show pertains to, this discussion. I jotted down some notes. I want to read them off so I get all the points in of how I see this particular topic. But again, this is not filled with resentment. You know I love you, right? But we have to speak about this. You know, when you have a whole family, a bunch of children, let's say there's 10 children, there's going to be that one or those two children that rebel or have certain individual characteristics that must be addressed, so that when you have a family meeting and sit the whole family down and you address it, it doesn't mean that you're speaking about every single child you have. It's those two specifics. So this is what it is with me. So let me share my notes. I'm going to discuss it, and I want to have a dialogue in the comment section after this that goes on forevermore. But you'll see this is not about all older black women, right? There comes a point in life when truth hits harder than opinion. And today I want to step straight into that truth. A lot of older black women, 50s, 60s, and even 70s, are sitting in loneliness, confusion, and quiet regret, wondering why dating feels impossible and why good black men seem to be gone. But the truth is simple and painful. Many of these women help create the very conditions that now keep them single. It's unfortunate. We have to talk about the mindset that grew out of the feminist movement, especially in the 70s and 80s, when many black women were told, you don't need a man. You can do bad all by yourself. That message got soaked up like gospel. It became a lifestyle. It became an attitude. And for a lot of women, it became a wall they can't climb back over now that they're older and wanting companionship. For years, many of these women were trained to see black men as the enemy. They were told, he has a problem. He was broke. He was useless. He didn't measure up. They were told to compete with men instead of cooperate with them. And now, decades later, that teaching is haunting them because they're older, they're alone, and many of them have built a life of money, degrees, houses, and careers, but not a single skill when it comes to love, partnership, softness, or understanding men. We're dealing with women who built independence but never built relationship wisdom. Women who learned pride but never learned accountability. Women who chased the fantasy of a perfect man while ignoring the good men who are right in front of them. And now, the dating world has changed, and these women are finding out the hard way that men want peace, not problems. So today, I'm breaking down how we got here, why so many older black women became undesirable partners in the dating world, and what this means for the future. Not to disrespect, not to tear down, but to speak a truth that has been buried for too long, and now rising up with consequences everybody can see. Let's start with the reality. A lot of black older women carry emotional baggage that they never healed from. Instead of dealing with heartbreak, childhood wounds, or their broken relationships from decades ago, many hid their pain behind strong woman talk, careers, and independence. It worked for a while, but now, when they try to date again, all of that old pain shows up as distrust, defensiveness, anger, or a quick attitude. Men today don't want to play therapist to issues created 20, 30, and 40 years ago. Then we have the entitlement. For decades, these women were praised as queens, boss ladies, and independent women who don't need a man. They were told they were the prize. They were told they were enough. Yet they were never told they needed to bring cooperation, warmth, or accountability into a relationship. Now they want love, but cannot switch off the tough act. They expect leadership, but refuse to follow. They want protection, but won't give peace. They want love, but fight every man who tries to get close. Financial problems also play a role. A surprising number of older black women lived fast in their younger years, spending, partying, living for image, living for attention. Now life is expensive, bills are heavy, retirement is coming, and suddenly the same women who said, "I don't need a man," are longing for a man to rescue them from years of poor financial choices. Men see this instantly. They don't want to fix someone else's lifetime of chaos. Another major problem is unrealistic expectations. Many older women are still chasing the imaginary high-value man they thought they deserved in their 20s. But they never ask themselves what they bring that such a man would want. Many still judge men through a fantasy that never matched reality. They want a man who is rich, tall, fit, emotionally wise, respectful, loyal, but they don't offer anything close to what they demand. They want the king without becoming the queen. And let's address femininity. Decades of survival mode made many older black women hard, tough, cold, loud, defensive, masculine. They lost the softness that builds connection. They lost the patience that builds love. They lost the warmth that men are naturally drawn to. A man doesn't want to come home and compete with his woman. He wants a partner, not a rival. And when a woman brings nothing but stress into a man's life, he simply chooses peace elsewhere. Today's men, especially black men ages 45 to 60 and even older, are done with that fight. Their kids are grown, their bills are paid, their peace is priceless. They're traveling, enjoying life, and discovering that women in other cultures actually value them, appreciate them, and want them. So when they meet older black women who carry attitude, baggage, entitlement, and a long list of demands, they walk away without looking back. Older black women aren't losing men because men have changed. They're losing men because the world they believed in, the world they said independence is the path to happiness, was a lie. The lie produced loneliness. The lie destroyed families. The lie convinced them that being difficult was power. And now, in their later years, they are paying the price with decisions made decades earlier. But there is a path back if accountability enters the room. My final thoughts. At the end of the day, loneliness doesn't fall out of the sky. It was built over time. And many older black women must admit this. The life they built was built without men. So now it is a life that does not attract men. That is a hard truth, but it is still a truth. If a woman wants companionship at 50 and 60 and 70, she must stop fighting the wrong war. Men are not the enemy. Black men were never the enemy, but too many women were taught that they were. And now they must unlearn the lies if they want a different outcome. Healing must replace ego. Accountability must replace excuses. Softer communication must replace loud pride. Here's the truth. A man wants peace. A man wants cooperation. He wants a woman who respects him, values him, and brings warmth into his life. Not competition, not chaos, not trauma dressed as strength. Men are not asking for perfection. They're asking for peace, and peace has become very much rare. If older black women want love in their later years, they must step out of the mindset that kept them alone. They must rebuild being feminine, not men alone, right? But for their own happiness. They must learn the art of partnership again, because independence without companionship is a cold reward. In the end, men today are choosing their peace over someone else's problems, and women who refuse to change will stay seated at a table where no man sits with them. But women who choose growth, real growth, can still build love, still build connection, and still build a future that doesn't end in regret. The truth might hurt, but healing never comes through lies. It comes through facing reality, learning from it, and becoming better from it. That's the only way forward. And for many older black women, this is the last chance to make that change before loneliness becomes permanent. Those are my thoughts. And I'll just say this. Coming up, teens, 20s, 30s, I've been in my fair share of relationships, situationships, and I don't even know what to tell you they were. But I'll say this, the feminist movement, that whole mentality, I don't need a man, I can do bad by myself. And it was really bad out there. And then a lot of women are paying for it now. But all I'll say is that I've known several women in my life, not intimately, and some on that level. Maybe not relationships, but maybe moving toward a relationship. And there have been some that I have communicated with, not really recently, but after a couple decades went by. And I saw how hurt they were. I saw how beat down they were. And one woman asked me, she said, "Why didn't you choose me?" It wasn't on that level where, oh yes, we're together and we're thinking about getting married. But she was aggressive and so hung up on status. Oh, this is what I do for a living, and this is how much money I make. You don't make the money I do. Okay? I'm this and I'm that. And that's your paycheck? That's what you make? Oh, wow. How could you live on something that small? Those are the comments that were always, and it was a friendship. It got physical, right? But never in my mind did I ever think about moving forward because, wow, this is what you're going to have to hear for the rest of your life? Why not build something with someone that's considering a relationship with you? For me, I was smart. I never thought about that. I said, okay, they're a friend, and when things piddle away, fine. You're cool. You're cool as long as you're over there and I'm over here. Other than that, you're a nice person to a point, but for some reason, because of your own hurt and pain, you have to throw off this rank and file of you making 4 times the amount of money for me, not for me, but more than me. And it was never about that. I never chased any woman for money, but there have been some who put that on the table. Cool, enjoy your money. Enjoy your money. See, a lot of women don't understand that it's not always about looks and your money and your status and where you live and your zip code where you live, the amount of money it costs for your condo or your house. That's cool. You have some little guys out there who are looking to use women like you and have a place to stay, but most men would rather live in a shack with a woman who loves them, with a woman who respects them, with a woman who wants to build with them and have a partnership with them. No man wants to be with somebody who in a palace gets belittled, put down, emasculated, and with somebody who has masculine energy. It doesn't mean you have to be a yes woman. You can have your ideas, you can have your perspectives, and you can even debate and have a friendly ideological confrontation verbally that gets settled. But it's got to be based on respect, because a quiet home, a quiet place to live, peace of mind, nothing beats that, especially when you get older. Because as a black man, getting older and being beat up by the world, it didn't defeat me, but I'm just saying that you have your battles out there. You don't want to come home to the same thing. And all of this other stuff that they drag in and, about how much money they make and black men ain't no good. You know how many times people who never even knew me, it wasn't even on a dating level, but just in passing, that it was assumed that I was no good. Well, if I'm no good, stay over there. I'm not looking at that point. I'm not single now. But even at those points when I was like, I'm not looking for that. And many were surprised how you can walk away from a person who's making such money and has such, not even wealth, but doing really good. Fine. But nobody wants to deal with the attitudes. Nobody wants to deal with the things that you didn't deal with as far as the baggage and problems and issues and idiosyncrasies that you have. Sure, if a person's with you, they will aid you in that. But you have to be the one to want the help. You have to be the one to dig in the crates of what you know is in there, pull it out one by one, and banish them, heal from them. No man is just going to come and wave his hand and just. So time moves fast. Time moves fast. Here I am at 62 years old, and life is wonderful. Life is peaceful. I am where I want to be. Oh God, when I go to sleep, I feel so good. When I wake up when I want to. I feel so good. I talk about the things that I want to talk about. And even on this platform as it is now, it's not about popularity. It's about truth. It's not about being the most popular. It's about clarity, speaking from the heart, and speaking the things that I see, because I've expanded into so many other things that even this is a small part of my existence. But anyway, I hope you got something from it. And again, I'm going to say, I'm not bashing all black women. I'm not bashing all older black women. And I want to say one more thing that I didn't put down in my notes, that you see some black women who are by themselves that are older. They may be widowed out of a really wonderful marriage. So you just can't point fingers and say, oh, you're an older black woman, that's the problems you probably have. No, you can't say that. You have many women who are in abusive relationships and finally got out, and maybe they're a little older, right? Things happen, right? And again, like I said in the beginning of this is not about all black women who may hit a certain age. You have women out here who have chosen careers that are very intensive, right? It doesn't mean they hate black men. It doesn't mean that they're not open to it, but they have chose careers that take up a lot of time. And it's not out of resentment to say, I have this and I have that, but it is a sacrifice, because I know several people like this, and they would love to have a black man in a relationship, but their standard is not like what a lot of these other women said, oh, he's got to be making all this amount of money, and he's got to be, but mental and spiritual and certain things they won't tolerate because they know themselves. If you're a black woman who you know yourself and you know you're not going to tolerate certain things, I'm not mad at you. But when you come with that whole feminist thing and black men are no good and I don't need a man, you don't need a man, okay, keep that same energy as you get older, because you see that things are a lot different from that side of the pond than on this side when you get to that particular age group. So this is not a venomous thing. This is just a thing to differentiate those energies from the women who are good, the women who understand what it takes to be with a man, but don't settle for less. So if you're still single because you're not settling for less, I wish that you do find somebody. It's not your fault. But those other types, you get what you get what you pay for, right? Chickens come home to roost. You have that attitude, then you probably won't ever get a man. That's terrible. But we want you to have a good man, not just any man. And the good women who know what to bring to the table, the peace, the partnership, knowing how to communicate, knowing how to deal with a man, a good man, right? Provided a good man, then I'm more with you. Anyway, I'm gonna let this one simmer, saute and simmer. We're gonna put this out and leave your comments and let me know how you feel about this topic. Much love to you all. Lancescurv out. Peace.